And it's been 5 minutes since the end of the previous video, and I've done some construction. Now, we noticed that it's not okay. It's not okay because this part here is, in my opinion, too large. So our drawing is maybe a bit too small and maybe, or definitely, too much to the left. So what we have to do, because this rarely turns out fine from the very first attempt and the very first line, we have to hit it with the first cloth. So with some sense of not pressing too hard, we will destroy this and create some nice shades of gray. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you should be able to see it. So I still have my initial construction, right? It's not gone, it's just obscured enough so that I know what to start from. So usually after hitting it with the cloth, we would use the eraser to sort of take out the lights a bit. So just remove more cloth from where things are shining. But since I want to do the whole construction all over again, I think that's what I'll start with, and I'll continue to use the charcoal. So I'll say that I want to move this line maybe almost an inch to the right, and my whole construction will change accordingly. So I'll have this line here, and then I can start to reconstruct. Now, since we have circles here, we have to move and make sure that we are looking exactly at the paper. So if I'm doing the circle here from this eye level, and this has actually happened on this drawing, the circle will be distorted. It will be an elongated ellipse, like this. This part will be longer. And it will look like a circle to me as I'm doing it, but then when I step back and look at it from a distance, I'll see that it's more elongated. So that's why there are several corrections here. Now, we do this. We sort of reconstruct the whole thing. And we know that from here, from the right side, this is my measuring thingy. So from the left side of the bag there till here, this will fit in the height of the, on the vertical, 1.5 times. So I'll say 1 and half. Wow, I don't know how to make 1.5. 1 and a half times. We're still okay. It's 1 and a half. Okay, so we have to go a bit lower with the vertical as well, since we move this line. So these are my edges here, and from this we can start to reconstruct the whole thing. So we know this is what's happening here, somewhat of a circle. This is my spot with the bag that I measured from. It's here. Then we have one apple, roughly a circle here, and other things that are happening. So I'm not pressing too hard. I just want to have a basic general idea of where this is all placed, how it's coming together. I can also look with the vertical, see what's happening. So this apple, for instance, is further in than this one. So my actual limit will be here. This one comes out a bit. And there's the bag. And I keep doing it till it's done. Only have 4 minutes. You can probably skip this part. It's just drawing. One problem with drawing this kind of thing is that at least in my mind, those are all spheres. But it's not necessarily what's actually happening. So these things that we know, both about human faces and about things we draw, sometimes tend to make us distort our drawings. So, for instance, some of those oranges might be anything but circles. This one is a bit squished. And we have to sort of look for getting everything in its place, measuring all the time, looking at the verticals, looking at the horizontals, trying to see how everything fits together. Many times I'm just doing in my mind what I've done several times with this one. So I'm looking at the right side here to see if this one comes further out or further in compared to this one. And it's a bit further out, the edge of the cloth, green cloth. You can see, but I'm telling you it's green, it's light green. Okay, so this is it. Then we have to sort of identify the shapes in terms of value, light and dark value. Many times when you look at these shapes, you will find that your construction is off. And that's a good opportunity to fix it. And also, this sort of squinting like this. You look both at your target and at your drawing, and you squint and try to make them look the same. So just try to correct the values and work in order of importance. This will be dark. This here will be dark as well. We notice things like this apple is quite light, this apple here, but its dark side, it's darker than its neighbors. And things of this nature will help us render the light and shadow properly. And again, this is just eyeballing. I'm just putting in some color, and there will be more things to correct later on. We just need something to correct. So instead of just looking at the blank paper, we have a bad drawing, because based on that we can measure again, and we can do a bunch of things to make it work. Some of the things are much larger than expected, or in various ways I have my construction off, and so on. So I'll keep working, and maybe I'll also use a mirror, because the mirror helps us. If you look at the whole thing in a mirror, both at the drawing and at the target, this will force the brain to reinterpret the whole thing. So as we work with the same topic for a while, we start getting various ideas about what it looks like. But this is rarely the way it actually looks like. So to sort of hit reset, we use a mirror, and we look like this. So I'm looking at the reversed image, and then we will easily see what's off and by how much. So where are vertical things not vertical, where they're not where they should be, and what's out of proportion. And then with that new information, we can come back at the drawing and redo the whole construction again, and so on. I'll keep working, and I'll be back maybe when I hit it with the next cloth.